Facebook briefly topped $1 trillion valuation yesterday after a judge dismissed an FTC complaint that tried to force Facebook to sell Instagram and WhatsApp. Our tech editor, Dan Howley, is here now with what this means for Facebook going forward. So is it safe to say they can hold on to Instagram and WhatsApp for the foreseeable future, Dan?
For now, yes. So really what happened here was the judge dismissed two different lawsuits, one by the FTC, one by a coalition of attorneys general. The attorneys general case is just dismissed. That's not going to be going forward at all. Essentially, there was an issue with how long they took to actually file that suit based on what the complaint was that they were making. But the FTC suit was dismissed without prejudice, which means that they can amend it and then go back and kind of fight Facebook on this kind of complaint. Now, what the issue was according to the judge, is that the FTC didn't really provide an understanding of what kind of market Facebook was really monopolizing and to what degree. So the judge saying that basically the FTC didn't provide an exact number as to how it dominates the market. It said it has market share of north of 60%, but nothing exact. And it really didn't define the kind of market that it was taking over, which is personal social networks. And that's kind of, a disparate collection of different kinds of networking, whether that's messaging between people with WhatsApp, photo sharing, something along the lines of what you would have with Facebook proper, or as they call it, Facebook Blue. So that's really kind of the issue there. But it doesn't mean that Facebook is out of the woods by any stretch. It just means that the attorney's general case, yes, that's gone. The FTC has 30 days to respond to this, and they can come forward with an amended suit and continue to move forward. And they also still have their own tools as far as antitrust complaints go, not just going through the court. So I would say that it definitely gave Facebook a boost. Obviously, yesterday we had seen them close above $1 trillion for the first time ever. They've kind of retreated back a little bit from there, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily completely free of any antitrust scrutiny.
All right, so Dan, let's keep this conversation going, at least on tech. Let's move to a different company. Give us the details here, because Google is also expected to be served with an antitrust suit. Of course, we're hearing about a lot of these antitrust suits being aimed right at some of those big tech companies, and that's related to the Play Store and how Google charges fees on sales, and that was filed by a coalition of the attorneys general. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this is going to be a suit that will likely come this week. And essentially what it means is that there's the scrutiny around these app stores that these companies operate is really kind of ratcheting up. And so for Google, it has to do with the Play Store. And essentially what the issue would be is the charge that they file or offer, that 30% commission or 15% commission on subscriptions after the second year, and using or forcing companies to use Google's proprietary payment system when they offer apps through the Play Store. Now, this is going to be kind of a complicated case only because Google already offers the ability for third-party app stores to exist on Android devices. You just have to install them and go through kind of a warning process. And that's kind of where the third-party developers have their gripes, is that Google offers the ability, but it does warn you that you can get viruses or malware on your phone because of that. Unlike Google, though, Apple offers a similar experience, but limits you entirely to its own app store. So that case would seem to be a little bit stronger. And then obviously we have these antitrust bills that have come forward from the House Antitrust Committee. Those, though, are now being criticized as being destructive, at least according to some members of the House, the majority leader basically saying that they aren't constructive, they could be destructive, and they need to be held off before they move forward. There was some concern that maybe the Antitrust Committee was moving forward a little bit too quickly, so they want to kind of pull back and ensure that they're not going overboard when it comes to these companies. But obviously, antitrust is going to continue to be an issue for the rest of the year as far as these companies go. We still don't have a major suit against Amazon. That's expected to come down. And obviously, Apple, they're still waiting for the results of that case with Epic to be wrapped up. But they also have not been hit with any lawsuits from the government. Google, meanwhile, has just a slew of suits that they're already fighting, in addition to what we're expecting out of this suit for the Play Store.
All right. Lots to keep our eye on there. Dan Howley, thank you.